Friday, 22nd of May 2015. Paper highlights. First, let's look at the paper highlights from Daily Mirror. 4 SLFP ministers resign, say cannot work with PM. 4 ministers resigned from their posts yesterday, expressing their displeasure over the attitude of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and claimed that they have cast the first stone to accelerate the downfall of the government. Another paper highlight from Daily Mirror. Resigned ministers rejected Maitri's principles, UNP. UNP parliamentarian and Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister Ajit P. Pereira said the 4 SLFP ministers who resigned yesterday had done so to join hands with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa by rejecting the principles upheld by President Maithripala Sirisena. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. Ranil, Chamal, Nimal discuss CC. Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and opposition leader Nimal Siripal de Silva met on 2 occasions during the last couple of days to work out modalities for the establishment of the Constitutional Council, officials said yesterday. More highlights from Daily Mirror. Harin to continue as UWA CM. The Court of Appeal yesterday refused to grant interim relief to suspend the appointment of UWA Province Chief Minister Harin Fernando. However, the court decided to fix the petitions for hearing on June 19th and thereby the respondents were noticed to appear in court on the date. Court of Appeal Justices Vijit K. Malalgoda and HCG Madavala made this order sequent to the petitions filed by United People Freedom Alliance General Secretary Susil Premajayantha and UWA Provincial Councillor Chamara Sampath. Another paper highlight from Daily Mirror. Police should act urgently on Jaffna incidents, MR. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa said yesterday that police should pay urgent attention to what happened in Jaffna as the initial stages of terrorism also begin in a similar fashion. Stones were pelted at police stations and courts in Jaffna. The LTTE too began in a similar fashion. More highlights from Daily Mirror. MS makes wish for all war heroes. President Maithripala Sirisena on Thursday wished that all war heroes who made the supreme sacrifice for the territorial integrity, sovereignty and unity of the motherland during the 30-year ethnic conflict may be born once again as a son or daughter of Mother Lanka before they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Ceylon today. 4 SLFP ministers resign. 4 Sri Lanka Freedom Party MPs, namely the Cabinet Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena, State Minister of Housing and Samurdhi Dilan Pereira, State Minister of Public Administration and Democratic Governance C.B. Ratnayaka and State Minister of Environment Pavitra Wanyarachi resigned from the government yesterday. Another highlight from Ceylon today. Resignations won't hamper government's work. Any MP has the right to resign from any ministerial portfolio, and by resigning the 4 ministers have shown that they don't want to be stakeholders of the government, Deputy Foreign Minister Ajit P. Pereira said. Besides an MP, any person can resign from any post. I have no reason to comment or speculate about the SLFP. They have the right to take decisions. However, the UNP is with the president, he said. Another highlight from Ceylon today. Government degrading Buddhism, SLFP. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party said the government was degrading Buddhism by investigating temple property. Another highlight from Ceylon today. Refunds to golden key depositors. Government assures written guarantee. The government promised in Parliament yesterday the submission of a written undertaking along with a payment scheme to the Supreme Court, guaranteeing payment of compensation to golden key depositors. Another highlight from Ceylon today. Treasury bond debate. Vasu Ranil in verbal battle. Unparliamentary language was used on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe by UPFA parliamentarian Vasudevan Nayakara, who lost control of himself during an argument that ensued after the opposition demanded a debate on the treasury bond issue from the government yesterday. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Daily News. Attorney General halts Tiran's arrest. The Attorney General yesterday stalled the arrest of parliamentarian Tiran Ellis after the Supreme Court noticed the police on the strength of a fundamental rights petition filed by the parliamentarian. The Police Special Investigations Unit investigating into alleged financial misappropriations at RADA, headed by Tiran Ellis, had sought IGP N.K. Ilangakoon's directions to arrest the parliamentarian over the allegations leveled against him. him. Another highlight from Daily News. One minister, 3 state ministers quit. Pledge support to President. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena, Housing and Samurdhi State Minister Dilan Pereira, Public Administration and Democratic Governance State Minister C.B. Ratnayaka and Environment State Minister Pavitra Wanyaraki resigned from their posts. Another highlight from Daily News. Mind your language, Speaker tells MPs. Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa yesterday instructed parliamentarians to be cautious about the language used in Parliament as there are school children in the public gallery. Another highlight from Daily News. MR still president. Had he appointed MS as PM? Dilan. Mahinda Rajapaksa would have still been president had he made Maithripala Sirisena Prime Minister. Former State Minister of Housing and Samurdhi Dilan Pereira said. Pereira said they will extend their fullest support to get the 20th Amendment passed in Parliament. More highlights from Daily News. Those who resigned were anyway in the other camp. Deputy Foreign Minister Ajit P. Pereira yesterday said that resignation of several state ministers from the government will make no difference as none of them were with President Maithripala Sirisena at the last presidential election. Another highlight from Daily News. Vavuniya shuts down. All shops and boutiques in Vavuniya along with all Tamil schools were closed yesterday, expressing solidarity with the people protesting over the kidnapping rape of an 18-year-old schoolgirl in Kites, Jaffna. More highlights from Daily News. Jaffna MC remands 130 people. The Jaffna Magistrates Court yesterday remanded 130 persons, damaging the Kites Courts complex until June 3rd. Another highlight from Daily News. Interim order to suspend Harin refused. The Court of Appeal yesterday refused to grant an interim order as requested by the petitioners from court to suspend the appointment of UNP member Harin Fernando as the UWA Provincial Council Chief Minister. We looked at the paper highlights from today's newspapers and we will bring you more tomorrow.